What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Brian Talks Money podcast. Today, I'm joined by founder of Fearless Realty, real estate investor, and top 1% agent here in San Diego. He is also a father and husband who helps family build generational wealth. Please give a warm welcome to Jonathan Fisher. What's going on,
What's
bro?
up, dude? I appreciate you having me, man.
Of course, man.
That has to be the best intro I've had.
Oh, man. I'm so
cool.
glad, bro. I practiced it at home 3-4 times, bro, before I did it. So
You made me sound like an important person.
You are, bro.
That's pretty cool.
You definitely are, bro. So tell us a little bit, bro, and let's jump right into it, bro. Give us a little bit of background of, who you are, how you got started, and where you're at today.
Yeah, so I am actually from San Diego.
Yeah.
Not many of us are from San Diego, right? So representing the South Bay.
Yes, sir.
My name is Jonathan Fisher. I am the founder of Fearless Realty. I branded myself as the Fearless Agent, maybe year 2 of being in the industry. I've been in the industry for 7 years. Been pretty blessed that I've been a top producer for the last 3. And I just, through other people, I learned how to create raving fans. And it's a very simple formula on how to be a top producing agent or how to be successful in real estate. And it all goes back to treating people well, caring.
Key thesis
right?
And everything.
Caring, and also the people that want to jump off the cliff. Don't be scared to be yourself and call them out or do it like, dude, I'm doing the best thing for you. So many people are scared to, they get so attached to that commission check, right? Because we don't have a monthly salary, right? So you get so attached, and sometimes we don't allow ourselves to be ourselves.
Yeah.
Right? But every single person has gifts.
Yes.
Every single person is authentic. Right? So my recommendation is stay true to yourself, and there's a niche for you for every single person.
Yeah.
You have purple hair right now. You know what I mean?
I'm like, yeah, I do have purple hair.
There's a niche for you, and maybe someone else would be like, I would never do purple hair.
Of course.
And that's totally cool, man.
I would never do dancing TikToks.
Yeah, there you go. You know what I mean? Yeah, I would. But there's a niche for everybody. The analytical person, the outgoing person, someone that drinks alcohol, someone that doesn't, someone that has tattoos, someone that doesn't, right?
And that's one of the things that I really appreciate about you. And, saying the name Fearless, one of the things you mentioned is that you don't be afraid to tell people how it is. One of the things I admire about you, Jonathan, is that you don't care about telling people how it is. And it's not because you're an asshole. It's because you're just telling the truth. And sometimes in this industry, you need somebody that's going to just give you a nice shakedown and be like, yo, this is what you're thinking. I understand, but this is the best decision for you. And that's one of the things that, I really admire in your work. And then in your branding, bro, it just definitely shows that you care.
I do care, and I really appreciate that.
Of course.
I am a straight shooter, and it doesn't come from a bad place.
No, not at all.
But it does get me in trouble quite a bit.
I would say, depending if people don't understand and know who you are, they'll probably be like, damn, this guy is, a little bit like tough. But if you know who Jonathan is, you're like, bro, that's just Jonathan being real. Like, everybody
can make excuses of why they're in their certain position. Maybe they had no control over it. They do. They did. They don't. But you do have control over what actions you're going to take place moving forward.
Yeah.
If you want to get out of the rut you're in, or if you want to level up, or whatever your goals are.
Yeah.
We're all capable, right? I mean, shit, I wish I went to the gym more. And
bro,
there's
don't even bring that conversation
right?
now, bro. I literally was just talking about that to myself, being like, bro, like, come on.
Awful.
Like, what's happening?
I know, me too, man. But there's no excuse. I mean, we know what we have to do. You just fucking show up.
Just like I show up every day, make my calls, do my content. I'm like, why can't I do that for the gym?
Yeah. And eat cleaner. I mean, it's just quite easy. Everything's quite easy if you really want to achieve it.
Yeah, and one of the things I've realized in just anything we do in real estate is that whatever action we do take forth in is that we have to consistently compound that action and not just go about it for 1 week, 2 weeks, shoot, even a month isn't enough at times. And you really have to try it over and over again to have an idea if it's actually giving you, progress or if it's really not working at all. And I feel that's where a lot of, people and agents get, lost in, where they're saying they're doing an activity, but then you you really look at how long they've been doing it for, and it's only been like a month or 2 months, they haven't seen the results. Well, like try it for 90 days or try it for more than, the 90 days to a year, and then see if that actually works. I feel action is the one thing that, people lack, and it's all theory at times. But when you take action, you start realizing that the theories you had nothing to do with the action you're taking.
No.
And it's all just mental barriers you had in your head.
Yeah. I want to hit on a few notes on that.
Yeah, of course.
You mentioned, I have two favorite words in real estate: compound and leverage. I'm all about compound effect. And yeah, it's about staying consistent.
Yeah.
And then leverage, once you have the results, what do you do with those results? So many people are stagnant and they're like, sweet, I have 500,000 in equity. Motherfucker, take out some equity and go on to the next investment.
Yeah.
Right? Like leverage what you have. And secondly, taking action. So I am a terrible implementer. I am one of the slowest implementers on any systems I want to implement.
Yeah.
I'm baby steps, but I make sure that I do it correctly. That way I don't have to do it again.
Yep.
Right.
Okay.
So consistently, dude, I have a 20 to 25 to-do list and I get overwhelmed, but I focus on one thing at a time and make sure that the systems I've created are profitable and do work.
Yeah.
Right.
Of course.
And thankfully for me, touching my clients so much, doing events, touching them via email, cell phone,
I get your fearless newsletters.
I mean, just being consistent really matters.
Right.
Right. And I think what you were saying, so many agents go to, let's just say, a seminar, they have 14 ideas and they're all going to work, but they're trying to do 14 things at once. And then they give up right away. And then they victimize themselves. Why can't I be successful? Poor me. No, dude, like one thing at a time, prioritize which ones are like you should be implementing first. And right now, open houses are hard to come by, right? If an agent really wants to do open houses, do them during the week.
Ooh,
right?
That's a good one.
I can't get open houses Saturday and Sunday. Okay, well, what about Thursday, Friday, Wednesday, Monday? What the fuck are you doing then?
And even those early days, what I've realized, and I've heard feedback from other agents, is that you actually get buyers that can't go out on the weekends because they work or their life just doesn't let them, and they're actually serious buyers. And you actually have the time to communicate with them and build a better trust if it's just 1-2 people that you see that are actually serious.
Absolutely. Let's take it a step further. You're holding the open house.
Yeah.
What value do you have? Are you just waiting for someone to come in but you don't have any value? Do you have a buyer's checklist? Do you have a escrow process, or do you have anything tangible that you can share with them to show that you're a business professional? What makes you stand out?
Yeah.
How many agents are there in San Diego?
Shit, too much.
It's like 23,000. I don't even know.
You throw a rock, you could hit a lender or you could hit a realtor for sure, bro.
Dude, we're a dime a dozen.
Yep.
But you have to differentiate yourself. And that's something I'm trying to coach to my team. How can we differentiate ourselves? Right. Because everybody's leveling up.
Yeah.
So like you can never become stagnant.
So to your point, it's like in the lender world, right? Like closing on time, giving the lowest rate, having the lowest fees, having communication. That's my bare minimum responsibility of my job. Now, how do I take it a step further? Well, for me, you said, how do you stand out? Well, luckily I dyed my hair and it worked out, right? And I get good feedback, I get bad feedback, but in the end, it's something that works for me. One of the things that I will say though is that
you're remembered though.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Either good or bad, they remember me. And that's the name of the game. And I tell people, you have to find something that's congruent within you that you're able to be comfortable in and not really care what other people say. Like if you love the gym, combine that with your business. Like if you love drinking, combine that with your business. Trust me, there's a lot of people that love drinking.
I agree.
You know what I mean? And before, when I got in the industry, a lot of people weren't doing video just yet, or they weren't collaborating their life with their business because they said, why would I do that? Nowadays, it's almost the only way to stand out is by showing who you really are. And that cheesy saying that they used to say, hey, just be yourself and everything will be okay. Like it just makes so much sense nowadays because every realtor can offer you the same thing: access to the MLS, show you and open houses for you and maybe send you CMAs. But what are you doing beyond that? Like, are you teaching them maybe about financial skills, letting them know exactly what's happening in the market, giving them information on how to strategically send out offers. And then on my end, am I teaching them what their finances means, what their credit actually, does for them, what they could do to better their credit, their finances, and just overall be in a better position. I feel as professionals, you need to find that medium where it's like, hey, this is my niche. This is my area of expertise that nobody kicks my ass on, and lead with that. Lead with that value proposition.
Absolutely. And not to mention, you're a homeowner, right? You've been through the process. You know what that tastes like. You understand the stress, but you also understand how to leverage. I think you own 2 properties, right? So you
one. Yeah.
But at least you're a homeowner.
Yeah.
So
I own in TJ, but I don't really count that. Right?
No, that assets are assets.
But yeah,
man.
but
and,
you're right.
And
right.
it doesn't always have to be real estate either. So what I differentiate myself through most realtors, I educate my clients on how to building wealth. And it doesn't always have to be through real estate.
Yeah.
I'm going to teach you how to leverage your assets. But okay, cool. Like once you have your first asset and you're good, right? Do you have a financial planner? Do you have life insurance to protect you, right? Do you have a good CPA? Okay, you're good on all that. Is your property in a trust? Now let's start protecting your assets, right?
Yes.
Like we're constantly networking with different business professionals that can really help guide our clients to building financial freedom.
Oh, 100%.
Right? Not many people do that.
No, and it's what? It's giving your network, your audience, and your clients access to this wealth team that I like to call it. And that's the people that are going to help you keep your assets, make more money, and ultimately drive you in the right direction. And the crazy thing is that us in the real estate positions, we're the quarterback of that team because we get first dibs at the homeowner. And we know that they need all these things. So by being able to, provide them with those options, I mean, bro, you don't think they're going to be clients forever? Go back to you whenever they need anything business. And that's one of the qualities I like to give off to my clients that, hey, if there's anything business that's going on, whether I'm not the indicated one, at least have the comfortability to come to me so that I can refer you to someone in my trusted network that is going to do right by you.
You want to be the resource.
That's it.
For all vendors.
You're the center point. And if you're able to do that, bro, you're just dispersing business left and right. And those come right back to you as well.
Absolutely. That's what we like to call raving fans, right? Yeah. But it's also, there's something called the law of reciprocation.
Yeah.
Not everybody abides by it, but everything's a numbers game, right?
Yeah.
We truly care about our clients, but we do anticipate a few of them to reciprocate with referrals, repeat business, all that good stuff, right? So it's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, of course. You do right by people. People will take care of you if you take care of them. So we've been talking about investments and leveraging, your either real estate or your investments that you have. Tell us a little bit about what it was when you first got started in buying your first investment property and how you've leveraged that up to date. Yeah,
so I was pretty lucky. I bought when I was 21, so in 2009.
And giving away your age.
They're gonna look at it, look at the video, and they're like, "Oh, he doesn't look 35 years old."
You don't.
So I bought it for $117,000.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was really cheap, and that's when I realized, wow, like with appreciation, what real estate can do. I didn't get into the real estate industry until I was 28.
So hold on. You bought an investment property before even being a realtor.
It was, my primary residence, but yeah, it was
okay.
Before,
Well, still, converted eventually. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
wow, bro, that's awesome.
So with realtors, I don't know if people don't know, but it's a 1099, right? So you can't really use that income until you have 2 years history.
Yeah.
So now, as we know so many more loopholes on how to do stuff, but I didn't know. Nobody guided me in the beginning.
Of course.
I wish I would have invested so much more when I first came into the industry.
And that's crazy because that's exactly I bet you many people are in that same position where they're like, they got it and now what?
100%. I really think I'm one of the few people pioneering to leverage your assets, man. Yeah. And people are scared and it sucks. Price points are high. Interest rates are high. But you think you're going to remember that in fucking 10 years?
No, once you have that cash out and you're freaking bringing it in.
Yeah, man. I mean, everything in this life comes with sacrifice.
Yep.
Everything.
Definitely.
Right? People that go to the gym every day, that's a sacrifice because you're not with your family or you're not going to have a beer or whatever, like it's discipline.
Yeah, 100%.
But I currently own, so I'm going to keep it real. I as of last month, I had 7 properties.
Yeah.
And I'm also part of a syndication.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess 8 assets.
We'll touch bases on that right now. Yeah.
But my last transaction was a transaction from hell. Mm-hmm. I purchased in Dallas, and it was supposed to be a BRRRR. So you buy, you renovate, you refinance, and you rent out, right? So like a flip, but you keep it, and you
collect
the idea is,
cash flow of it.
Cash flow, and you have equity, right?
Yeah.
Pull out the money, you can do the next one. So I was doing 3 at a time. So I definitely over leveraged myself. There was times that I had $30,000 to $50,000 worth of expenses a month.
Wow.
You know, like I was doing well, but all my money was going there.
Yeah.
So over the last year and a half has been very, very difficult on my mind, on my body, you know, and wasn't exercising, wasn't doing, I was just surviving. Right?
Yeah.
Nobody knows this because I don't share it,
and
right?
Thank you for sharing, because honestly, you're not the only one that's going through this. Dude, plenty of people. So power to you, bro.
Yeah, and the more, I couldn't speak to that many people because not that many people put themselves out there as far as investing with multiple properties, right? Or like scaling their portfolio. So when I would have the opportunity to talk to people that do very well, they're like, dude, we've all fucking been there. I'm like, fuck, that makes me feel much better. It really did.
Yeah,
like,
no, of course.
No offense, dude.
They're probably looking at you like, buddy, you'll be fine.
Yeah. So I ended up selling the first one out there, and I was going to do what's called a 1031 exchange.
Yeah.
So to avoid paying capital gains on an investment property.
So for those that don't know what a 1031 exchange is essentially taking your investment property's equity and putting it directly into another basically asset that's producing income as well, or an investment property of sorts, right?
Correct.
You can't use it for primary purchases, though.
You cannot.
Perfect.
But my DTI was so shot because I owned so many properties, and I just bought a kind of expensive car.
Tell them what it is.
I'm an idiot. So my DTI was shot.
Yeah.
So on another one, I had to do a bank statement only loan. That was like at 9%. Right. So, but where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah.
This is not complaining. This is learning from my experiences, and clients will not have to go through what I went through.
Of course.
So I decided last minute, spoke with my wife, fuck the capital gains. We're going to use this money to finally get out of the last investment. So I'm finally out. So now I only own 5 properties. Nice. They're all cash flowing. They're good, and part of a syndication. But the last one, I lost over $200,000 on that one. So very big, very expensive loss. But my biggest learning lesson is you can't buy peace of mind. You cannot buy peace of mind. And money isn't everything. It comes and it goes. All these properties are going to compound. Hopefully in a few years, I forget all about it.
Yeah, it was like you just said earlier, in 10 years, this will all just be something you laugh back at.
Absolutely.
So tell us a little bit about, for the people that don't know, what is a syndication and how does it work?
Yeah, syndication is, I'm just going to say it in layman's terms.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. It's a group of, what's the word?
Investors?
Yeah, but no, it's you have to be certified.
Is it a certified investor, capital investment?
No. Is it accrued? No.
Accredited.
Accredited. There you go. A syndication is a group of accredited investors. You have to get approved, and you pretty much are putting X amount of percentage into the investment. Okay. So it's usually for a much bigger development.
Got it.
So I think I dropped $100,000 on this one. And I have like 5% investment on a 26 unit in Golden Hill.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, cool. Here in San Diego. Cool.
So that property, due to COVID, didn't pan out either.
Oh.
Yeah, you pay to play.
Yeah.
And we had tenants that did not leave.
Squatters.
We had squatters. And now the numbers don't really make sense. So now we're selling that syndication. We'll be getting that money back, thankfully. Yeah. So it's not a loss, but you got to pay to play sometimes.
And sometimes it won't pan out how you see it. But I mean, like you said, you've learned a lot from it. And it's the lessons you learn from what you take in those situations that really kind of, give you that return on investment.
God humbles you appropriately because let's just say that all my shit worked out like how it was supposed to. My ego would be inflated right now. I would have $500,000 in the bank. I would own 7 properties, probably a few more.
Yeah.
The ego would be crazy, right? So everything happens for a reason. Brings me down to the roots.
Right.
And it reminds you what's important. Your friends and your family is very important. And building slowly and gradually is much better than trying to accelerate any type of growth.
Wow. That's deep, man.
You know what I mean?
No, of course.
Life is definitely not a sprint, it's a marathon. But when you're ambitious and everything's working out and when it's easy, you want to see how far you can go.
Well, it's like you're never telling yourself like, shit, this is not going to work out. In the back of your head, you're like, it's going to work out.
It's going to work out.
Cash in, baby. Let's get
yeah,
this.
and I'm huge on law of attraction.
Yeah.
And that shit didn't work.
He's like, I didn't attract shit.
Oh my God.
But speaking about, being your family, your friends, your relationships, something that you really value, how do you hold it together with the balance of being a father and also being a business owner in a way that you're also catering and, teaching these agents how to grow?
Yeah. So I don't think by any means I'm someone that can answer that appropriately. I don't
feel like there's a right answer.
Yeah. I can give you my story, and I think I lacked balance. I think I lacked being an amazing husband, an amazing father, amazing friend, because I had to sacrifice all that to be able to keep growing. Right. But now looking from the outside in, it's so important to have balance.
Yeah.
And now looking at it, it's so easy to business plan. It's important to business plan, but also part of your business plan should be your personal life and what core factors you want to include, right?
That makes a lot of
And
sense.
what are your non-negotiables? And from there, you can build your business plan accordingly.
I like that.
And it's so easy to really create a successful real estate business, right? Do you want to go B2B? Do you want to go B2B as business to business? So you have your divorce attorneys, CPAs, probate attorneys, financial planners, all that good stuff that can refer you. Do you want to go SOI? All the people that know you and want to see you succeed, right? Sphere of influence. Do you want to go raving fans, referral? I guess that's a little bit with SOI. Do you want to go
door to door,
cold calling, cold leads, right?
Yeah.
Do you want? There's just so many ways. Do you want to pay for leads, right? So many ways to do it, but you need to figure out what way you want to build your business and what's best for you.
I think like for me, when I got started in the industry, I tried out everything. Like I had said, let me see what works, what I'm good at. I very minimally because I didn't like it.
I think you and I are the type, like, people say no to us and our feelings are hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to hear no.
I rather have you tell me yes face to face because I know you will. And once I have you face to face, I know that I can give you the right information for you to see it the way that it needs to be seen. But what I realized was that, my style and what I thrived in was a lot different. But in doing all those skills and all those activities, I learned what worked for me and what didn't work for me. So then whenever I talk to new LOs or new agents, I'm like, well, what are your activities looking like? Oh, I'm doing this, and that. Which one is the one that's giving you the most results? And how long have you been doing it for? Based off of that, double down on that one and then implement and supplement how you're going to be doing that and add more to it as you go. But first off, get really good at one thing and then you could start getting better at other things.
I'm all about that.
And that's one thing you mentioned earlier that I was like, when I started focusing on one thing and stopped trying to do so many things, my business started picking up. And then after it started picking up, that activity led to another activity that led to another activity. And then we talked about that compounding effect. But it starts by doubling down on one thing and then seeing where that takes you, because that one thing is going to take you to the next thing, to the next thing. And then before you know it, you have a whole activity list of things that you're doing to go propel business.
Absolutely. But you're implementing it little by little.
Little by little.
As business owners, we wear so many hats, and consumers will just never understand how many hats we wear. So this is more towards the other realtors that are listening. If you think me as a top producing agent, multiple properties, have my shit together completely, like, no, that's totally not true. Like, all of us go through our trials and errors. All of us, maybe we're taking more wins than losses, but we still take our L's.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So if you need to hear this from somebody, Just keep on doing it. See the big picture, and don't be scared to set bigger goals. Failure is a part of it.
Yeah.
Right? If you're scared to fail, then you're seeing it the wrong way.
Definitely.
You know, failures help you grow. Because imagine if everything was easy, then I would have never learned from it. I'm never going to get better.
And if it was easy, everybody would do it.
Yeah.
But look at that.
Like the hard escrows, right? The hard transactions. Of course, we want them all fucking easy, but you don't learn from the easy ones.
No.
It's the hard ones. You're like, oh, fuck. Like,
I'm never going to do that again. Or I'm going to do that now. Or I'll never tell them that.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on, we've all been there. We've had to help clients. We had to credit clients on commission and stuff like that. And maybe they're not the most grateful. Or maybe in the moment for those 3 minutes, they're grateful and they completely forgot about it. What are your thoughts on that?
I feel it's like, you know, we do it from the bottom of our hearts to say, hey, well, if this is what's needed to make you accomplish the goal that you want, hell, you know, that's me doing it out of the bottom of my heart. But I feel at times, depending on the client and who they are, they almost feel entitled to it. And that's when I'm like, that's kind of shitty, because at the same time, it's like, you're responsible for coming up with your closing costs. You're responsible for coming up with your down payment. It's only if the opportunity presents itself that you could get them covered, or you get a shared, closing costs by your lender or your agent. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it's like, that's not the way that you should be looking into the process of buying a house, saying, hey, they're going to cover my closing costs. Mm-hmm. Because if we see in this present market, if you have that mentality, you're going to get spat out. And right now, if you're not prepared, then maybe it isn't the best time to buy. And I just feel it sucks that we put our commission, that we do this to bring food and shelter to the table of our families, and they look at it like, oh, thank you so much. You should have done that. It's a slap to the face, to be honest.
Yeah, and not everybody has consistent income. We're pretty blessed that we do well, but those agents that have a closing once every 2-3 months, and they're wearing all these hats and like marketing and videos, a new thing, and that costs money, and MLS fees and all that stuff, right? Like, all that costs money. And then we still have to come in with gifts, right?
Yeah.
That's such a silly culture that we've created.
Like, shit, I made $1,000 on this freaking thing and you're asking me to cover $3,000 for Cutco. Nice.
But I think it's all about the expectation we put with their clients.
100%.
So if you don't have PowerPoints for every single step of the way and you're not educating your clients, then they don't know any better. But if your buyer consultation, you go over all the fees that that they're going to spend. I personally charge my TC fee to my clients.
Yeah,
I know my worth. It's $500, right? But we're getting the job done for you.
Of course,
I'm gonna try to get you credits, all that good stuff. But that's our fee. When I was coming up, I was terrified to even ask them to do that.
Yeah.
Now it's an expectation.
Yeah.
Right. Opening escrow presentation, final walkthrough presentation. It's your job to educate your clients, and if you're not doing so, then don't get frustrated if they don't know what's right and what's wrong.
Yeah.
Right.
It makes a lot of sense.
I had my cousin, his agent, give this. I had a coworker. When people told me that, I'm like, that's totally fine, dude. It's a different market. Mm-hmm. You're working with a different agent. Mm-hmm. We're going to produce results for you. Yeah, it's really, really important knowing your worth.
No, 100%.
And it's hard. It's scary because we're a dime a dozen, but also people respect when you know your worth.
And I was going to say to add on to what you said, if you have all that prepared and you give them every answer to every question they have, then you shouldn't feel guilty for, charging that X amount or, putting that fee on there, because one, you did your job and went beyond it. Mm-hmm. And your client's looking at you like, God damn, they hit it out of the ballpark. Dude, this guy's worth it. They actually want to probably even pay you. So it's like, at the same time, knowing your worth is going to definitely, distinguish yourself and set you apart from, the pack. Mm-hmm. Before we log off, what advice do you give to buyers and sellers right now looking to jump into the market?
I think with real estate, I know there's a lot of fear, but it's never a bad time to invest because you just need to start. Just starting, I don't give a fuck if they won't, but I don't care if the homes are going to go down 100,000 in 2 years. They won't. But you need to have an asset because over time, it's going to appreciate and you're going to be able to leverage it. You can't start leveraging any assets if you don't have an asset. You need to start somehow, some way. You can victimize yourself all you want. Yeah, like interest rates suck, price points suck. Well, you shouldn't have fucking waited so long. Right? I'm sure you had the opportunity 2-3 years ago and you were in the same bubble saying, oh man, like it's too high right now.
It's going to crash. My team said it's going to crash. My
It is
coworker
what it
said it's
is.
going to crash.
I think you just need to start, and then what time you're going to learn how to leverage those assets. And let's fast forward 10 years and you own 3 properties. You're fucking welcome. That's my expectation. My clients should be leveraging all their assets.
And you plant that seed from the beginning.
Absolutely. It's on my buyer consultation. Well, there's a page that shows you this is the first step.
Yeah.
Home buy. The second step is we're going to teach you how to leverage that asset. If you want to produce passive income, if you want an ADU, we have architects, people in the city that can help you out. We go over multifamily. We teach you how to house hack. We go over all that stuff.
Don't give out all the.
I know.
So, Jonathan, thank you so much, bro, for sharing, about Fearless Realty, about your upbringings, about how you run your business, opening up and being vulnerable. I really appreciate that, bro. Thank you so much for coming by. And we will make sure to put all the notes, descriptions where they could find you on social media, your website and everything, so that if people want to connect with you, reach out to you, we definitely can connect you guys. Jonathan, again, thank you so much for stopping by, bro.
Yeah, thank you so much. We are expanding our brokerage, so Fearless Realty will be hiring a few agents.
Nice.
So if you have any questions or comments, if you're interested, send me a DM and we can jump on a consultation.
Sweet. There you guys have it. Thank you so much, Jonathan Fisher, Fearless Realty.